تاريخ على المستقبل اللي بنبنيه سوا.
Welcome back. We decided earlier that we will be talking about Egypt's leading role inside the region, and in particular is Egypt's amazing role taking its front line and leading role inside Africa with brotherly nation countries and inside the continent in general, ever since it has been assuming the chairmanship of the African Union 2 years ago or something. Of course, it has been for 1 year. That 1 year, Egypt have concluded or effected and executed lots and lots and lots of achievements that could be executed in 10 years. Only 1 year of chairmanship of the African Union brought a lot of partnership with brotherly countries, a lot of solidarity, a lot of empowering and enforcement to the communities there, to women and children, different projects and everything. Of course, we're going today to talk about Egypt's pivotal role and its leadership in Africa, and to shed more light over this very important issue. We're very delighted to be having with us here live in the studio Mr. Ahmed Yousef. He is Vice President of the Arab African Council for Integration and Sustainable Development in Egypt and in Africa, of course.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for coming to the breakfast show. And let us first talk about the historical ties between Egypt and Africa, the very long history.
Yeah.
Not in Africa, because we are in Africa,
Yeah,
but let us say Egypt's leading role inside Africa. Egypt have something special with every brotherly nations, regardless of anything.
Certainly.
It has something special. And with the Egypt coming back to the front line under the Egyptian leadership of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, Egypt have done a lot. So talk to us about first the foundation of the bilateral relations.
Okay, first of all, Dina, thank you so much for having me here today. And of course, I am very delighted to congratulate the Mr. President for his 7th year on the government. And of course, as you ask, the historic ties between Egypt and African countries, you know, there are so much to talk about. But let's say recently, like the recent moment during the Jamal Abdel Nasser, of course, we have witnessed a lot of Egypt's support toward the African countries, actually the initiating the African Union itself in the beginning. Egypt led after you know getting the freedom from the colonization. Egypt led other African countries to gain their freedom from the European colonization. So Egypt has been, you know, has always been there for Africa. Only we have witnessed, you know, a period of time, a specific era that Egypt hasn't played so much role, which made so much lapses to, of course, to the Egyptian and African ties. But you know, thank God this time around things have turned around, and you know, with the leadership of His Excellency Mr. President, things have become better, and we have witnessed so much, and we have known so much about Egypt, and you know, and people paying more attention to this kind of relationship and this kind of the impact that Egypt has given and is still giving to the African, you know, African countries, and of course even during the leadership of the African nation. Of course, Egypt has played so much role, you know. So this turning event is very beautiful and a significant part of the Egyptian achievement, this recent moments, and really me myself personally benefited from it, you know, in a very, very in a different ways, you know. So this is something really worth talking about, and we talk about it all again and again, because this is what should be talked about all the time, because this is what matters right now, because so many people are in need of these kind of conversations, this kind of discussions, to really have something. You know, let me just cut to the chase. Mr. President, of course, he has given a lot of people hope, a lot of African people hope, and this is what they really need. This is what they really are in need for. So that's at least what I can share for now.
Ever since the Egyptian leadership have taken course, a few years ago, after the revolutions and everything, President Sisi have stepped into office, it has been reputed with one major thing, which is the soft power and the soft diplomacy.
Yes.
It is the first and foremost and the foundation of President Sisi's policies.
Yes.
And we have seen milestones that has been taken, and eyes melt with the soft power of President Abdel Fattah Sisi. And the last example was a visit to one of the African countries by the first Egyptian president that was taken 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
To one of the brotherly countries, and many other initiatives that has been taken. Even the health campaigns that has been taken in brotherly countries, the same like the 100 million lives taken in Egypt was affected in brotherly nations in Africa. Health campaigns for women and children, the same thing. Reconstruction projects and opening the market, and economic partnership and cultural partnership, you name it.
Yeah.
So how did these ties flourish and develop under the current Egyptian leadership, with all these steps taken, positive steps, and the soft power by President Abdel Fattah Sisi?
Okay, you know, in the beginning, the leadership, during the leadership of Mr. President to the African Union, you know, he has been committed to, you know, to the office, and he has attended every meeting. I mean, every African concerned forum, you know, in African countries, in Europe. He has attended everything, and he has focused so much about Africa with all, you know, as far as I'm concerned, with all his heart, because here we are now. Egypt has achieved so much in Africa. Of course, the 100,000 health care, and of course the soft skills that he has initiated. He has given, you know, to the countless of African youth, and the empowerment of youth and women inside Africa, and the African living in Egypt, and of course the Egyptian. So this kind of empowerment and this kind of encouragement is the kind of encouragement that we really need as Africans and as youth, so that we can carry it on to the upcoming generation. So seeing someone as a leader acting like that, and putting so much effort in order to bring a progress, to make a progress for the nation, this really is a great thing to start with. And the conferences held in Egypt, either in the in Cairo or Aswan or other places, are also, you know, things that have affected so much youth, and this is amazing, you know, from the Egyptian government to have done this, and I think Yeah.
Right. Let me just focus over 100 مليون صحة or 100 million lives. That is the name in English that is taken, that has prevailed most of the brotherly countries, and also equivalent campaigns that has been taken to care and support and empower the health and lives of supporting women and children of Africa. But also, regardless of the health campaigns, the African file in general have been very rich, and many points that have been taken on the side of the Egyptian leadership. When we talk about these things, we look into the history of their relationship, comes from the major challenges or the common challenges that they share together, and that's why they should be unified. There should be solidarity. There should be different partnerships on many fronts, not only on the health file, but also economically, culturally, military, many partnerships. Talk to us about the different challenges that is facing the brotherly African nations.
Well, the major one is like the climate change, all right? And we have witnessed, we have seen how the Egyptian government have been pushing and encouraging, the rich countries, and the most country affected are the growing countries and mostly African, African developing countries. So definitely someone has to stand and push the right button in order to bring an end or to decrease the effectiveness of it. So we have seen the support of the Egyptian government in this aspect, and also, of course, the heritage and other, heritage preservation, of course, and thanks to the Egyptian government also for the big Cairo parade that was held few months ago. So all of these are stuff that affects Africa in general, all right, and bring out the true image of Egypt, and people start to pay more attention to.
Let me get in here before I forget and talk about that very remarkable speech that was given by President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi in a summit in his recent visit to one of the brotherly nations, and he said very important points. He mentioned, he talked about the military partnership between him and between the Egypt and brotherly African nations. He talked about confronting the terrorist thoughts and terrorist cells by establishing awareness amongst the youth and training them. And of course, one of the best examples is the African Presidential Leadership Program that graduated almost 2 batches now, African youth with Egyptian ones. And he talked about establishing economic partnership, establishing Egyptian banks inside African brotherly nations, establishing hospitals. He talked about securing the strategic fronts of Egypt, of course, and most of them, mostly the Red Sea zone, and establishing also logistical zone, which is very important when it comes to economic partnership. Talk to us about those efforts.
Okay, let me remind you of the bridge, the Cape Town Bridge, from Ain Sukna, right, to Cape Town. This is also something remarkable, that shows the connection with connection between the two nations. All right. So this is one, and the other thing, the batches, the 2 batches that were graduated from the leadership program, which is also something that shows the focus on youth, because as I remember him saying in one of his speech, of course, that if we don't engage the youth to, in a positive things, they will definitely go to do otherwise. Okay. So of course,
very
engaging them,
point.
yes, engaging them in such kind of things, giving them something to get busy with, to have to do, is also, another source.
And exploring the talents,
yes,
and
exploring the
abilities
talents
of the youth, and encouraging them and supporting them and training them also.
Yeah, because
is very important.
Yeah, they are. As you know, I always say, he focuses on the youth more than anything else, and African youth specifically. So he knows where to touch. He knows where to press, and that makes him a good leader and some effective leader. And that is why people learn and get influenced by his leadership, and that is why we are here today. That's why we are. Egypt is what she is today. So this kind of things, that's what we really need right now. Okay, that is what we need as leaders, the kind of leaders that put progress in their agendas always. Progress and bringing new things and using the youth to create development in different parts of lives. Okay, so this is what he has focused. He has focused on. He's still focusing on. So the health care, also the health part, also is not something.
The health file.
Yeah, the health file has always been reached so much. If you even during the corona pandemic, the government has already given so much support to some of the African countries, like Democratic Republic of Congo and South Sudan and Sudan, and other African brotherly countries. So, and he is still in touch with the center of with the same center of controlling disease controlling and management. So he is still in touch with them and feeding, making sure everything is going in order. So this shows a really a great concern from his side, and given a very good outcome or good impression to Egypt.
Let us also talk about the milestone changes in the Egyptian policies towards African brotherly nations, which could be one on top of the achievements of the Egyptian administration, in the sense of that the power, soft power and soft diplomacy, and also the rhetoric of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, when he even regarded or expressed how he thought about the securing the rights between countries. And he talked about the rights in water, the environmental rights, the water rights, and all types of rights, regardless of the issue, that it is not only limited within the people that are asking for they have the historic rights like the downstream countries, but it is also facing all the brotherly countries. Not only we have to secure it for the sake of specific countries, we have to secure the rights for the sake of the safety of all brotherly countries, for the sake of sustainable development, 2063, for the sake of the humanity, and for the sake of the health of those brotherly nations. This is how the Egyptian administration is addressing the issue of rights. I mean, not aggressively, not lenient, but in a very developed way and civilized way. When he talked about
an open platform, really, in an open platform, because regarding that, as we attended so many conferences, and he gave us a chance to express what we really wanted, and we said it, and things have been applied and executed. So we cannot deny that. You know, some people might think I'm saying this to please some people, but I'm really saying it because it really happened. Everything is clear. Everything is like, it's real. We are not saying it just to please other people or to whisper for other people's benefit. But these are the things that are really happening, and they will keep happening. They will keep happening. A lot of people right now, like the recent Voice of Africa, Voice of Egyptian in Africa. You know, so many people have taken the initiative to go to Africa countries, like the one I saw mentioned in the stories, Sarah El Amin. She dedicated herself to go to the African country, like Kenya, in the rural area, and give them access to water. I mean, I have never seen this before, you know, from Egyptian, you know, in a private way. This is beautiful, and you know, ever since I know her, she's been doing something like that. But this is this current administration has given her like hope, and given her, encouraged her. So by doing that,
and optimism also.
Yeah, made her a little more optimistic, and you know, a lot of people will definitely take on steps, and they will definitely do as she did. So going out there, you know, leaving everything behind, and living with people just to help them, and you know, initiate or establish the sense of sacrifice. This is something that you can never give anybody more hope than this. So we got this from Egyptian person, and not even sponsored by a government or sponsored by no. She did this on her own. And other you have something to say. Okay, and other Egyptian people taking the initiative to build a platform where they teach more than 300 Africans in 6 months. This is something beautiful also.
The National Academy.
Yes, in the National Academy.
Of course, it's one of the huge achievements of the new Egyptian or the current Egyptian administration. Of course, we have taken some time to count the achievements of the current Egyptian administration and under the leadership of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, but we haven't even covered half of those achievements. We need another episode. Unfortunately, we ran out of time, but on a promise that you could come in the near future, and we could continue counting the achievements inside the African continent, and how the Egyptian leadership under President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi is so successful in attaining it. Mr. Ahmed Yousef, you are Vice President of the Arab African Council for Integration and Sustainable Development.
Right.
Thank you so much for coming, and best of luck to you.
You are most welcome.
Thank you so much. And so we're going to go to a short break, and we'll come to continue the breakfast show, so stay with us.